Okay, as you can see, we're right between 225, 250, right where we want to be. That's a beautiful thing. Oh, and they looking so good, so good. We're gonna check the temp on one, see where we're at. Go to the thickest part. Okay, she's climbing, she's climbing. Ready? She's right at about 140. Slowly climbing up to about 140, 150. Let's see on this one. Oh, poke through it. Didn't want to do that. Yeah, this one's going up to 160. So I'd say we're a little bit ahead of schedule. We're about ready to wrap. I'm going to stoke the fires real quick, then come back with some aluminum foil, and we'll wrap these things up and we'll get them so it'll be nice and tender. So I'll be right back. I'm going to pause it real quick. Okay, so I wrapped the first one, and I did, like I said, I spritzed it with apple juice. Well, let me show you on the second one that I'm wrapping. We're going to move this over. Place it right here in the center. And as you can see, it's still a little bit firm, but as we keep cooking, all of this stuff will start tendering up, and it'll be just as tasty as all it can get out. Get this thing on here. Okay, so spritz with the apple juice. Then I'm going to add another level. This is Czech Winn-Dixie old style root beer. Now we're going. We could actually do this inside. This is just a form of braising. Right? For chuck roast and stuff, that's what it's known for. That's what pot roast is. You're braising your meat. But we wrap it. And if you notice, the aluminum is the shiny side in. That way the heat doesn't reflect away. You always want to do shiny side in. Shiny side in. Okay, we got that. Put it back down. And now, temperature went all the way down because it was all the way open and stuff. Get my thumper. Knock down some of these ashes. Get two hands in here, add some coal. Ouch. And we use the last of the cherry. Damn right-handed scissors. So I'm just going to add just a little bit apple. This would be the only time I add wood. Basically because I wanted to just try to get the heat back up a little bit quicker. And then I'll just keep adding charcoal for the rest of the cooking time, because no more smoke is going to get into the meat. And if you're not going to add good apple smoke or good wood smoke to the meat, why add it to the fire? But so when it starts smoking again, the temperature come up, and then we're right back in business. We're about an hour ahead of schedule, so hopefully about 4 o'clock we'll be in there and eating in the kitchen with some good meat. So until then, I'll see you later, Gator. Okay, well, while I was fixing my umbrella, she got a little away from me. Now she's at like 350. She was close to 400. So what I did is I closed the vents and I put a little stick there to open up the top, so let some of the heat escape through the top. And now she's slowly coming back down. She's now about 325. So I'll check on it here in a few minutes, let it stabilize a little bit, and then adjust it from there. Talk to you later. Okay, folks, so we're about an hour ahead of schedule, which isn't bad. It's always it's a guessing game sometimes, but I poked it and we've reached 200 degrees on these. So, and we let them rest for about 10-20 minutes, and now it's time for the unveiling. This is the shorter one. It's the smaller one, because if you remember, I had to cut it. And oh, just look at that. So juicy, nice, and you poke it, it's nice and tender. And let's see if I can get the bone out without burning myself. Look how tender it is. The bone pulls out nice and clean, and like I said, it's the 7 bone. The outside has that dry rub on it. Just licking it off my fingers. Has a nice little zing to it because of the chili powder that I put in it. But if you can see, there's some nice juice that I'm going to try to make sure I don't spill. Because of course, it'd be nice to reincorporate that juice into the meat. And look how just look how tender. Woo. See, yeah, that even gets a woo from the mama-san, so you know it's good. Because when mama's happy, everybody's happy. Okay, so that was a smaller one. Mama, let that cool. You can taste test.
Oh my god, that's so good.
And
so tender and juicy.
And everybody knows mama don't lie. Okay, now this is the bigger one. This is the bigger roast. And what I did is we cooked some other stuff on the grill while I was cooking this, so I ended up stacking the smaller one on top of the bigger one. So the bottom one might get a little bit more done on the bottom side of it. Might have a little bit of a crunchier bark, so to speak. But I needed the room. That firebox isn't. It's a nice firebox, but it's not a big firebox. And we did some chicken breasts and stuff for our lunches for next week, and so on and so forth. That's looks like it's just a big old piece of fat, but it just pulled right off. This large bone here. Try not to burn myself, guys, but this large bone just pulls right away. There's some little meat left in it, but it's because I think it's because the way the bone is structured. Because where's the fork? Because if you can see, it's pulled pork. So if we wanted to, we could either do this 2 ways, and evidently I've already started doing it. But we could either slice it, or we could have pulled pork, like pulled pork sandwich. But this is beef. Yes. Thank you, honey. So, pulled beef sandwiches, maybe some mustard, maybe some barbecue sauce, some dill pickles, coleslaw. So we're set. So until next week, when I'll be cooking a picnic shoulder ham, picnic shoulder roast, I'll be seeing you later. Gator.